Hey folks, John with Complete Technology Solutions, your friend in the computer business. Look at Stumpy. Can you guys tell what we might be doing today? Have I mentioned how much I love my job? Let's get this underway. You know, guys, it's funny. After I did that mod last night, and I want you guys to understand, this was not my creation. This was actually somebody else's creation. But after I did it, man, my inbox was flooded with emails of people that wanted the modification springs or the magazine. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to tell you guys how we're going to handle this. I have got Mike's information down here in the description. If you look on the last video, he was actually chatting with us in the actual chat area. If you want to purchase the springs, just the actual springs themselves, contact Mike at that site. If you want to purchase a fully upgraded magazine for any of the T4E line, or you want me to perform the modification for you, and I do have those springs as well, then you contact me directly at the email down in the description, and I'll go ahead and get you instructions for that. My goal was never to take business from him, guys. In fact, the kudos go to him, man. This was a great invention and very, very, very long overdue. So it did, however, spark everybody out there. Y'all know my mind. You know the way I think and what I'm doing. So I'm already looking forward to the next possible modification that we can do that keeps these in relatively stock format, that's easy to do and squeezes a little more power out. But that's not why we're here, and that's not why we have 4 of these bad boys laying in front of us here. So you remember the modified Glock magazine. Well, guess what? Modified Smith & Wesson M&P, modified VP9, and we've got our modified PPQ here. So we want to be able to test all of these together and see if we're getting those velocity increases. Generally speaking, guys, these all fire in about the same velocity on average, which is stock in that 250, 270 range on average. Until the Glock came out, the Walther was one of the better hitters. So I'm kind of curious to see what this actually does. Now, since we're testing all of them, we're testing a badass mod, I figure it would be a good idea to have some good rounds to fire. So I'm going to show these to Stumpy here. These are 43 caliber solid aluminum rounds. Now, to let you know, guys, I picked up this little scale for the channel so we could weigh these little balls and see what kind of weight we were actually getting out of them. So let's check and see how heavy these are. All right, we're zeroed out there and putting one on there. So those are going to be at 1.8 grams each on these balls. Now, I can tell you, I have fired 1.8 grams at Scully and blown holes in Scully that were 1.5 inches to 2 inches deep. You've seen that. With the velocity increase on these guys, we should get even more impact than that. And more to the point, and something that people keep bringing up, if you're going to use these in a self-defense scenario, you do not count on the kinetic balls to actually be the end-all be-all of this. In fact, nothing is the end-all be-all. The concept is you want a good quality pepper ball round. What these give you at a higher velocity is a better impact on thicker clothing. So that's something to keep in mind. The whole reason of doing this, if you're going to use it for self-defense, is the fact that your pepper balls are going to become a whole lot more effective. Now, you hit somebody with that 15, 20 feet, 300 feet per second, and you get a headshot or a neck shot or a groin shot, I don't care if they are King freaking Kong, you're going to get away. So that's, just keep that in mind. That's once again, we're going to deal with the tough guys. We'll deal with that when we do. So here's what we're going to do. Let's load up these magazines. I am so excited for this, guys. I have been wanting to do this ever since he contacted me about this mod. And by the way, I know he's watching the channel, and a lot of people actually watch the channel that are fellow YouTubers out there. And by the way, yes, I noticed that Rebel thanked me for the shout out. Guys, you know, Rune Rebel is one of the OGs in this business. In fact, after I did my very first Burna video, Rune Rebel was one of the first ones I jumped. Excuse me, it wasn't even Burna, was it? It was Salt Supply. Rune Rebel was the first person that I actually found and saw him doing all the less than lethals. And in fact, it was him that got me interested in the T4E line and anything from Umarex. And everybody out there knows how I feel about Umarex. I mean, that company is just crazy good. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and load up all our... Dude, okay, that magazine looks so awesome loaded with aluminum balls. Now, typically, guys, I will stagger my rounds. And a lot of people have asked me why I do that. A couple of reasons. The warning shot, the first shot out is going to be a kinetic round. Reason for that is pulling the weapon in itself is a deterrent. FBI's own crime statistics of all of the people that had to pull their weapon up through the end of last year when the statistic was, only 6% have had to fire it because the weapon itself is your first line of deterrent. The first round that goes out is going to be the solid round. It's going to connect, it's going to hurt, it's going to be a deterrent. If it isn't, your next round's a pepper ball round. And guys, if you're into a situation where you're having to fire the pepper ball rounds and an assailant continues to come or they're moving towards you, don't fire one and then stand there and go, gee, I wonder what it's going to do. You unload the magazine. That is the whole concept. You don't fire once, you aim center mass, and you unload it. That's the whole idea. By the time they are gassed out, can't breathe, can't see, you've got your second mag in, you're ready to go. So keep that in mind. No weapon, be it a firearm, be it a less than lethal, a stun gun, a knife, anything. Nothing is an end-all, beat-all solution to self-defense. This is a rounded scenario. So always remember, every advantage you've got in that situation is going to keep you safer. So, all right, guys, so here we go. We're loading up our fourth magazine. I love my job. Have I mentioned I love my job? Where else do you get to mess around with cool stuff like this all the time? Love it. All right. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to load all four of these up with CO2. We're going to move out onto the range, and let's get some chrono post-mod on all four of them. Here we go. All right, guys, so as you can see, we're set up back on our range here. Let's go ahead and put our chronograph on to... Now, the reason I wanted to test these balls, these are heavier than the ones we were firing yesterday. So keep in mind, yesterday we were getting 300, a little over 300 on the Glock. So I'm expecting to see 280, 290 out of the heavier ones, but who knows? We might be pleasantly surprised. All right, so I'm going to have to do that weird shot, guys. Oh, I got to get my cool Berna glasses we're going to wear here. All right. And I'm going to do that same shot we did yesterday, guys. I'm going to get right behind the camera here, and let's see if we get a chrono reading right off the bat. 250. Yeah, see, it's a little bit heavier, so 258. 258. But it feels heavy, guys. 267. Is that 261? 261. 256. 256, 247, and we're out. Okay, so firing the heavier balls. Now, keep in mind, guys, whenever you're firing those heavier ones, it's going to drop your velocity, but actually give you a higher impact on the other side. So let's go ahead. Now that we've tested the Glock, let's try out the Smith & Wesson. All right, so we're going to go with the M&P. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to let the chrono continue to record here. So if it holds true, this should be in that 250 or 260, 270 range. All right. So here we go. Charging her up, and we are ready to go. Let's see what we get. Error. Wow. This actually feels 291, 269, 254, 247, 247, 231, 228, and we're out. Guys, I want to point something out to you here. I was trying something interesting on that one, and I was actually aiming to try to get that sweet spot in the chrono. I was actually aiming dead center of this target, and I knocked the snot right out of that target right in the center. They're accurate, no doubt about it. All right, so that actually confirmed a theory, though. So it is going to hit at a little bit of a different speed. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to try out the HK VP9. So let's go back here. And let's get into position. Racking her up. Our glasses on. Okay, here we go. 296. 290. 272, 261, 253, 250, 243, 239, and we are out. All right, so once again, first hit right up around that 300. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, you're going to see a pressure drop-off when you are firing a heavier round, and that's because it's taking more air to push that thing down range. But we are getting the same amount of release, more air, more power. That's the whole idea. Walther PPQ, here we go. So I'm going to go back around the corner here. Now, guys, there's no secret. I love the Walther. I always have. So let's see what this actually does. I hold high hopes, but we're going to see together. So let's check this out and see what we get. God, 290, 271, 262, 262, 250, 243, 220, and out. 209. Now, that actually, 290. Guy, 290. It starts at 290. It always starts at 290. I don't know why it always seems to start at that 290 range, but that explains why with a lighter round, we were actually getting velocities at 300. And I'll tell you, that means if you're firing one of the practice rounds, and I'm talking, you know what? Let me see if I've got some of those over here. Hold on one second. Here, I think I actually have some of the 0.8 gram practice balls. I do, right here. All right, here you go. And since, like I said, you guys, we're always about transparency here. That is a great mod to do on this weapon if you're going to fire aluminum or rubber balls. Now, here's the question. We're going to take our Glock. This is going to be second magazine, so it's not exactly a 100% fair test, but it'll give us at least a good baseline. 2, 3. All right, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, we'll just go 7. I'm not even going to go crazy on this one because we only need a couple of readings here. All right, getting my glasses. Oh, I left them over there. There we go. All right, glasses on. And here we go. Second mag. And let's see what we get out of this. See? 374. So, the weight of the ball does make a difference. 370. Oh, that was an error. Nice. 355. Okay, so I am willing to bet that if you had a fresh cartridge in here and you're firing those rounds, it's going to be over 400. You're at 300 firing aluminum or the rubber with steel in them. Guys, that means pepper balls. And by the way, let me show you what that means. Tell you what I'm going to do. So we know that that's firing at that same speed. Let's take the second fires. Well, actually, they were all firing at the same speed. Let's do the Walther. Heck with it. Nah, let's do the Smith. I haven't done that in a long time. Here's what I'm going to do. I have got some of those 43 caliber fake pepper balls. Well, practice powder balls. You know, the ones that smell so good. And I will show you guys this, by the way, if you're curious. You can actually pick these up, and they're really nice to have if you want to see what kind of a spread you're going to get on the pepper balls. This is why all those people that I see on the channel occasionally that say, oh, well, 43 caliber is just not enough pepper. You fire one of these, and you get an idea of exactly how much spread that is, and it's a lot. So, not to mention if you add into that a good, solid quality pepper ball. All right, so we're going to load in. We'll just do 7 again. 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, ironically, now that somebody told me about the lighting and I've got this aim down, we could probably do it with a couple of them. But hey, we want to make sure, right? All right, glasses on. Here we go. Remember, this is second mag running those like fake pepper balls. Let's see what kind of velocity we're getting. Error. Yeah, I'm kind of expecting that. All right, let's see if I can actually get one over the plate here. 367. 336. 337. 333. Okay, that's it. Okay, so guys, look. We're consistently at 350 on the second magazine. The second magazine, okay? Now, guys, I want you to think about this in context, all right? If you're firing a pepper ball out of this thing, on the first magazine, you're over 400 every shot. Now, the first magazine is what counts. And I've told you guys this before. You know, you always get the tough guys out there. Well, if it's not a real gun, you're just going to shoot the... Dude, if you're in a self-defense situation, two things to remember. 3 to 5 meters, right? So we're talking 9 to 15 feet. And your first 5 shots are what count. You hit your first 5 shots, you get away. That's the whole concept here. If you're firing this with pepper balls at 400 feet per second, even if they're wearing padding, they're going to rupture, and that's what counts. Now, heaven forbid, guys, dude, you can see the accuracy. I mean, come on. Even from down here, you can see the accuracy on this. They group right together, which means that if you practice enough, that 3 to 5 is going to be a headshot or a chest shot or a neck shot without a problem. So, very effective for self-defense if you're using them right and you practice. That's the whole key. Let's step on back in here, shall we? Guys, one more time. Look at Stumpy. Dude, if you can look at that and not get excited, I don't know. Look, I love my job. I've told you guys this before, but above all, it's about truth. I want you guys to see exactly how these things perform. When that mod came out, I'm going to be the first to tell you, I doubted it. I really couldn't imagine how just the pressure on that hammer spring would have made such a difference. It's huge. And by the way, Mike is already on to another mod that he's working on right now. When that one's ready, you better believe it'll be on the channel. So remember, if you want the springs, you just want the springs, then I'm going to send you over to Mike. It's going to be down there in the description. Once you get over to him, he'll take care of your spring order. He'll get them all out there to you. If you want the fully modded magazine, you call me up and say, gee, I need a Smith & Wesson fully modded mag. Let me tell you what I'm going to do for you. These are going to sell at Amazon price. And I do mean the price on Amazon for the magazine with the mod included, because I'm going to take care of you guys. That's what I really want to do for you. If you send me your magazines and you want me to mod them, I'll do that for you as well. So drop me information down there or ask questions down in the email address. Just shoot me an email and we'll get you taken care of. Have a fantastic night, guys. I'm loving these. And I hope you like our new scale so we can weigh our rounds out. Have a great night, guys. Bye-bye.